Let's move to oil now. The price of crude continuing its comeback today, up about 27% right now, up 40% at the highs. We're just above $14 a barrel, but it's whipping around. There's a lot of volatility, and we're a far cry from the $60 price we saw back in January. This collapse has led the Texas Railroad Commission, which regulates the oil and gas industry, to consider production cuts, though now it's holding off on a vote until it can ensure any action will withstand legal challenges. For more, I'm joined by Wayne Christian. He's the chair of the Texas Railroad Commission. And Wayne, the longer you wait, the less you can help, frankly.
Kelly, that's somewhat true. But the other thing is, to do something wrong would be even more damaging. And that's what we're avoiding. We're wanting all the information, all the answers that we possibly can get. We had 10.5 hours of testimony a week ago, as we talked earlier, about that the industry and all the interested parties were able to testify. So it's a lot to go through. And the Railroad Commission has reviewed that. We've tried to inject as many changes to policies we possibly are allowed to meet the needs of our industry. And we are just negotiating federally with what our role can play in that particular venue. So we're looking at a decision that makes sense and has facts to present, not to make an off-the-cuff decision. This is too important.
Yeah, no, and we spoke to the Energy Secretary yesterday, Dan Brouillette, who said, we had spoken to your colleague Ryan Sitton, who said he was in favor of proration, but wanted other states to also be looking at cutting back production. The Energy Secretary said he's not sure if that's legal to cooperate across state lines. So is that what you're referring to? If that is okay, would you sign on to Commissioner Sitton's plan?
If it were a successful plan, the entire United States came together. I agree with the Energy Secretary. I would follow the lead of the federal government. Now, we're a federalist government here, which means each of the states has its responsibility and individual roles. And when they put an entire nation together, that's several states. Now, we are negotiating. I visited with our friends in North Dakota. Oklahoma has made some moves toward considering a capping. But Texas will stand alone and decide what's best. And if we can indeed benefit working together, but at the lead of our Energy Department.
So if your Attorney General in Texas, Ken Paxton, says that this is okay, would you vote for prorating oil production?
I haven't made up my mind yet. It's still an issue that's on the table. Quite frankly, I find there's some arguments that we found in the debate that don't seem to be coming out as presented. It was saying there was little folk against the big international companies in oil production. Mm-hmm. And I've not seen that as being evident when the evidence is reviewed. And I'm just finding that there's a lot of questions, and we're still trying to put the answers together. But I understand I'm putting them together as fast as possible because we don't need to let the markets continue to be uncertain on what's going on with oil and gas. Texas will rise to the occasion. 100% of the time, this nation has been under attack in every means possible. I've been a financial registered investment advisor for some 40 years, and I'll take it 100% of the time America comes back stronger. So does Texas.
You know, you have a task force you're assembling. I'd like to explain what you are hoping will come out of this. It looks like they're looking at every aspect, as you've said, of the oil industry: operations, permitting, timelines, tax policy, storage capacity, pipeline capacity, market access barriers. Are these kind of looking at other tools that might be used to curb production or, help the industry, offer more storage and that sort of thing, if prorating isn't the answer?
Yes. What I did was appoint a task force of all of the different organizations, the associations, from large to small, from landowners, royalty owners, all the different organizations to come together and to tell us how we could best assist the free market industry as a governmental agency rather than the government, big brother, tell free market what to do. I mean, the industry in Texas and in the United States has built the most successful industry of oil and gas and energy in the history of the world. And why doubt now that when we have a crisis, almost a warlike situation, where indeed government should play its role? I appointed this task force for them to tell us what would be the best part to play.
Right.
And then we can decide where the government goes big. And I think we've experimented with socialism a little bit. I don't think it's feeling too good in America today.
Well, I would hardly expect Texas to be the state to lead the way, which is what makes this so interesting. Final question, and Senator Cruz has suggested that he would turn back the flotilla of 40 million barrels of Saudi crude on 20 ships that is headed your way. Do you have a plan about what to do about this? I mean, talk about making a bad situation worse right now.
Well, again, I visited with Senator Cruz yesterday with Senator Cornyn, both of our senators. I visited with the Department of Energy. And again, the state of Texas takes care of Texas business. When it comes to negotiation of different things internationally, I think it's inappropriate for us as a state agency to tell the United States of America how to negotiate foreign affairs. I have visited with them about my concern of this flotilla coming to the United States that I think is kind of against the intent agreed upon with President Trump with the OPEC agreement to cut production as of May 1st. So I trust President Trump, the administration, to take care of international affairs.
All right. Wayne Christian, it's always good to check in with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wayne Christian.